So I found out the other night that apparently I beat myself up in my sleep.
Ow!
I went to bed completely fine and woke up with extreme shoulder pain. Like as bad as it was the last time I had to be put in physical therapy. So while I do my physical therapy exercises and work my muscle back up, I have been using a transfer board. Now, I was never trained to use a transfer board at all. This is the first season in my life that I've actually had to use this transfer board. The only other times that I've really used it was to transfer, say, from my driver's seat into my passenger seat in the car when my dad was going to drive and we were going on a long trip, something like that. So that's pretty much the only time I've ever used one of these things. I attempted to use one of these the last time I hurt my shoulder, and it didn't work with the bed that I have, but I have a new bed now. So I want to show you what I've been doing the last couple of days. So firstly, you want to make sure your transfer board is level with your chair. So I'm going to take the transfer board, put it partway under my butt cheek. Now, this is right here is the end of my seat. It's very important that the transfer board is not like this, where it's partially over the seat. That can be very dangerous. You can fall way too easy. So make sure your brakes are on your chair. You move this back under your butt. Then you fart. Your chair farts a whole lot. Now I'm going really slow because I'm just not that comfortable with it. And going on towards the bed, I'm using my good shoulder, thankfully. So, I hope you can see my nice boob shot, I know. So I'm pulling up my legs. You wouldn't typically have your shoes on, but I don't want the devotees to have any kind of fun with this video. So I'm just gonna give you boob shots instead. So here I am. Then I lean over, take the board out. And here I am, sitting on the bed. Now I'm going to show you how, this is a really great angle. Now I'm going to show you how I get back in my chair. Alright, something I found very important and very helpful with doing the transfer board is to leave my chair the same position that it was when I transferred onto my bed, to leave it that way, like while I'm sleeping, so then it's easier to know what way to put the transfer board when you're transferring back off. So here, by the way, I'm getting my new cushion tomorrow. I'm super excited about that. So here, this is exactly where my chair was. Excuse all the mess in the floor. So here's where my transfer board is. Alright, it's a little hard. It's harder for me to transfer back into my chair because this is my not so good shoulders. So this is definitely a position that does not feel very good. So, but it's a lot better than it would be with me. I was having to do it without the transfer board. So I'm gonna take my legs and get them over the side of the bed. That really does help you do this. I'm gonna keep my seats there. Alright. Slowly move over because you want to make sure while I'm moving over, I'm taking note as to whether the transfer board is moving or not. So, alright. I don't want to pull this. Okay. It is harder. Definitely harder to get off of the bed. Takes me quite a bit to do this in the morning. Alright, so going slow to not hurt my arm. Whoa. Don't lean backward. Unless concentrating. Ooh, really concentrating. Trying to, I'm grabbing, I hope you can see. Let me see if I can lean. I'm grabbing the frame over here because that's not gonna move in a perfect world. And then I'm putting one arm, now you don't have to, you could still push off the bed possibly, but my arms are really short. So it really helps me to put my good arm, so I can use that arm to push with, to put that on the wheel here. And I'm barely using my bad arm. So, and then I'm leaning backwards slowly because I don't know where the back of my chair is necessarily. Okay, and then do this. Turn this way. Okay. And then you wiggle out the transfer board. This is the hardest part I find. Like, it depends. Depends on how long your transfer board is. So you pull that out. And there's your transfer board. And there you go. And so, like, my old bed was a little bit higher, so my transfer board was like this more, and it wasn't gonna work. Like, even, I don't know if you can see this on camera very well, but even this wheel is a lot higher than my seat. So trying to transfer, even if having my transfer board on my wheel here, doesn't work because it's tempted to fall forward. And if this bed were any higher, it just doesn't work for me. It has to be exactly the level, which I find to be very limiting for these boards. Even something like just 2 inches off, if you're transferring like this, it does not work. And at least with my trunk control, I tend to fall forward or fall backwards, so it just doesn't work for me. But I want to know from you guys in the comments, do you use a transfer board? What's your experiences been like? What tips or tricks do you have for me? Because I think it's going to be a couple of weeks before I get my shoulder back up to par. I am certainly open to any suggestions that you have. I am doing the physical therapy exercises that I did the last time this happened, which is only one other time, and I know what I did and heard at that time. This time I have no idea what I did. Like I said, I think I beat myself up in my sleep. So I'm doing my physical therapy exercises. I just think it's going to be a couple of weeks for me to work at this, and, you know, just don't forget, if you're new here, I hope you'll subscribe. We do a video like this every Tuesday where I show you how to do something from a wheelchair. We learn from each other what works, doesn't work, other tips and tricks. And then I'll be back tomorrow for our hashtag Ask a Wheelchair User, where I answer a question that somebody's asked me about being in a wheelchair. Our video that we did last week on 5 blessings of being in a wheelchair had such good reviews that I actually was encouraged to find 5 more things that are blessings for being in a wheelchair. So there's going to be another video of that tomorrow. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this video and have a great day.